Woohoo!
We are live.
And hi there, everybody. My name is Bradley Powers, and I'd like to welcome you to Bradley Powers Presents Esoteric Hours with special guest Jim Andre, my co-host, and we have a mystery guest, a surprise, Cassidae Lightwing is in the house. Woohoo! And psychic medium Michael and Gilpin is joining us. Thank you, everybody. It's a pleasure to have you near us. So, Michael, how long have you been a psychic?
Basically since the age of 4. I've had knowledge of my gift. I didn't know what it was, but yeah, since the age of 4. Since then, I've developed my gift. I have other gifts as well. But yeah, it's since the age of 4. I knew I was different.
At what age did you start realizing what was transpiring? With some type of knowledge.
Well, even at a young age, I would see things and stare at things and get information that for me it was normal to those adults. And the adults, my mom said, you're a worrywart, you're wise above your years. I knew when my family members, the first experience was I knew when my grandfather was going to pass, and that was when I was 5 years old. I told my mom. Of course, she didn't believe me, and of course, a few weeks later, he did pass. I felt smarter, like I just wasn't the normal kid. I mean, my first word was juice. The first word I could spell at the age of 2 was electricity. I just was above, just out there. I think probably the psychic and things just really not until I really knew what was going on, probably my late 30s, I would guess. But in the meantime, I had all these things that were adding up to knowing that I was very different and had a different type of perspective. But when you grow up in an age of stuff that you don't have access to, we didn't have access to the internet. I didn't have access to these like chip coffees and spiritualists and things like that when I was young. This was back in the 60s and 70s when people I was dumbed down at the age of 8 and 9 by medication because I was seeing and hearing things. They automatically said, I was also very empathic. So my mom thought I was constantly depressed and things, and I didn't know what that was about until later on in life. So of course, that's medicating.
So you were in like your early 30s when it all started making sense to you.
Yeah, definitely. And then I've had some experiences, and I have a different type of gift that I've yet to meet somebody who has a gift like mine. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with Carl Jung, but he did dream interpretation where he said and did research saying, like, for instance, if you see a ladder in your dream, it means you're climbing a ladder, so right. Pictures have different meanings. So I see pictures around people and can develop, much like a tarot reading, a past, present, and future type of.
That's very true. I was over a buddy's house. This was over 40 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
His name was Jack, and there was an elderly couple visiting him, and he had one of them older Polaroid instant cameras.
Mm-hmm.
Where you would snap a picture and it would just slide out and develop. And he took a picture of the elderly couple sitting on the couch, and when it developed, the only one that was in that picture sitting on that couch was the woman.
That's so cool.
Yeah, the guy wasn't in the picture. Well, of cool in a way, but very, very weird. And he ended up passing away like around 3 o'clock the next morning.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
yes, I would say that pictures do have meaning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
So
can have
that's
meaning. Yeah.
that's one of the unique gifts I have. Plus, I have other things going on, but that's being a medium and psychic, and that's more of my wheelhouse, I suppose.
Sounds to me like your mind is tuned into the shamanistic frequencies. That's very much what, like young shaman experience as children amongst the native populations. You know, they'll see images and things like that, and you have to interpret those images based on what they saw.
That's very interesting. I am connected some sort. Oddly enough, when we were little, I lived in Colorado Springs, and we went to Manitou Springs, where the Hopi Indians were, that would come down and do dances and things. And I was always fascinated by the Indian culture. I think from what my mom says, I have a little bit of Apache in me. But I've always been connected. When I was little, oddly enough, for Halloween, I always wanted to be an Indian. So that's very interesting that you say that, Cass.
Hey, Rob.
Rob.
Yeah, Mike. Hi there, Robert. Thank you for joining us. Parafam Entertainment Channel. Thank you for joining us. And Mike Hewins is in the house too. Thank you for joining us.
Hi.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not like the old days, but it'll do.
Yeah, so I'll have to look into that more, Cass, because that's very interesting. I've had some, religious experience where I was in grew up in the church and stuff, and actually was in a prayer session one time. And I also have a gift of being able to see people's elements. I had a manifestation of oil in my hands a couple of times. So that's interesting as well. So yeah.
Now, we were talking before the show started, and Parafam still hasn't taken the alien off my title, which I'm fine with. Go ahead and keep it. So I have to, like the other guys are watching. So we were talking before about being a starseed, and just to fill silence, what you want to go into some of that for the audience?
Yeah,
sure.
You don't define yourself as a starseed, do you, Cassidae?
No, I'm not a starseed. Starseeds and what I am are a little bit different. I should have been a starseed. I trained to be a starseed. I was supposed to be a starseed, but I screwed up, like I do everything else.
Hi, Billy Bennett.
I think for me, the starseed came when I was little, saying that I was from the stars, and I've always identified with the stars. And then I happened to be at a metaphysical fair and met this wonderful woman, Michelle Manny, who's since passed, who did a book called Planetarium. I'd have to look at the book, but it's a great book. And she did tuning forks, and depending where you're from, the tuning, there's always a sound and vibration. So she played the sound, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I started crying, and I'm like, that's home. And I believe it was in the Palladian system. She showed me a picture too, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's where I live. That's where I'm from. And then a couple of years later, I was in my room, and these two light beings showed up, and I'm like, oh, you're my parents. I don't know how it works. So then I created the term for my definition, that BioLight parents, where okay, maybe this is where they send how you come into being on this plane is through light and energy. And somehow, don't know why, I got probably the worst two parents in the world. I love my mom. My dad, my biological dad, has since ascended, and he's actually become a spirit guide. But on Earth, he was a piece of shit, really. He abused my mom, did drugs. I mean, it was awful. And then when I was 4, Actually, my twin and I were down. Sorry if I get emotional because this is big. But anyways, a
Okay.
portal opened up. Okay. And I knew I was supposed to go through, but my brother didn't want me to go. I think it's because he didn't want to be alone. I don't know. I felt I was supposed to go. And since that time, I felt stuck. And somebody had said, I did a reading, and my brother wasn't supposed to be here in this carnation. He just kind of slid in. He was supposed to come. And he's had difficulty, and I've had difficulty too since then. But
there was a lot of slippage around about the turn of the century.
mhm.
Whether Aleister Crowley actually had anything to do with it or whether he just took credit for it, it's still there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So, yeah.
it's pretty interesting. But yeah, as far as the stars, that's how I identify. And being an indigo, I'm sure people have heard of the indigo. But when I looked,
Yes.
I've when I finally
I'm-
had access to that, yeah, I had all the check.
Yeah.
I had a psychic call me an indigo child. And on that note, I'd just like to do some shout outs. Thank you for joining us, Mike Ewins, Billy Bennett, Bradley Chester, Candy Fowler, Brian Parkway. It's a pleasure to have you all near us. And Stephanie Wyrembelski. It's a pleasure to have you all near us. Yeah, I was actually called an indigo child. Cassidae, was you ever called an indigo child or a rainbow child?
They didn't know what to make of me. But I wouldn't say I was called an indigo child, but I was not normal.
Hallelujah for not being normal.
I could vouch for that.
Since that point, round about my 21st birthday, and then later on with my daughter, they were able to prove it's not a matter that I'm an indigo child. It's that I'm not from here. So it's a different scale.
Yeah.
If I had to rate
John
myself,
Marie is
I would
with us.
say,
Hi, Chris.
if somebody were to force me into an opinion, I would say that the indigo children, like on an evolutionary scale, are like here. I'm like, and down there. But no, the same scale isn't. It doesn't apply to both of those species.
Oh.
My, what a piercing sound that was!
I know. Who didn't silence their phone?
Tough being popular, huh, Bradley?
So yeah,
Hey, guys.
definitely wide different. Mm-hmm.
I can't use that phone because I'm on mobile broadband.
Your image is frozen. We might lose you.
I know you're frozen. Bradley's frozen.
He's ready to be
Everything's
fed
all
to
right
fish.
on my end.
Oh. I'm
Hey,
back.
Scarpacci, long time.
Yes, Scarpacci is in the house.
He says everybody's back.
I didn't know
we're
I
back. Together.
Chris John Marie says, glad we caught your show today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I've always been out there, even in my body wiring. The doctors, they're like, "Oh, I've never seen nerves like yours." I'm like, "Of course we haven't, because I'm not fucking from here." Sorry, my F-bomb. I apologize.
Oh, no, I fucking promise you, I will fucking say worse.
Fuck.
Fuckity fuck.
Cassidy swears.
A little bit.
So do I.
So have you ever found that your biology has registered differently from normal humans around you? Like, for example, healing faster or finding that you're not susceptible, to illnesses or whatever?
Well, a couple things. First of all, I'm also a B negative, which is very rare. I've had instances in my life where they're like, this isn't normal. Like when I had my heart event, they couldn't figure out why, because there's no history. There's no reason why I should have had it. But I'll go into that later. But Yeah, just like I remember it would have been in the late 90s. I had what now was a gallbladder incident, and all these tests are like, it's not your gallbladder. I'm like, I'm telling you, it's my gallbladder. I don't care what your tests say. Just so I finally had a doctor. I'm like, can you just go in, do exploratory surgery, because back then they would, and figure it out, because I'm telling you, it's bad. So they get in there, and I wake up, and they're like, we're surprised you're walking around. It was almost gangrenous. It was sand.
Hmm.
But all the tests were coming back negative. In a normal, quote, normal person, these wouldn't have come back negative. So,
Right.
oh, I froze. Oh, there I am.
I'm going to ask you a question. It's going to sound very, very insulting. Give
No,
me a second.
don't. Okay.
Okay. Have you ever been genetically tested for congenital mental illnesses?
Medically tested?
Right.
No.
Okay. Like I said, I know that's an insulting sounding thing.
No,
What
it doesn't.
what we've been finding is that when they test people for congenital mental illnesses, they're finding a unknown chromosome, and there you have enough biological quirks. Maybe you have this chromosome.
I've asked for that to be tested, but because of insurance, because of this, because of that, they won't do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I've asked for that to actually be, because I know I'm not normal. I know what I see, I know what I hear, I know how I think. I know, like, for example, when I was in kindergarten, they wanted to advance me to the second grade
Right.
because I could read, write, and speak on that level. My mom said no.
Right.
We're not going to do it socially. So I've always been out there. Yeah.
My mom did too.
Yeah.
No, see that's the thing is that's kind of one of the reasons why I'm wondering is that people with this chromosome have a way of seeing the world that is radically different than I hate to say it, don't please nobody take offense, but radically different than humans, and that can appear as an advanced intellect. So your mom was probably right. So
yeah, she knew I was different. She just didn't know how to handle me, to be honest. And since she's passed, she says, "Oh, you were right," and I'm like, well, "Of course I was right."
yeah, we keep a running tally over on the coffee channel of things light workers have been right about that sounded crazy at the time.
Yep.
So
Yep. And I've had prophetic dreams. Like, if anybody goes to my website, I had dreams about the OKC bombings, the 911. I haven't put up, but recently fires in California, the Royals, some of their passings and things, and so yeah.
Bradley and Jim, I can't put her website in the thing. It won't let me make a comment, but in the private chat, the link to her website is there. If one of you guys could paste it, that would be great.
Yeah, I don't know if you can do that, Jim.
All I know, I can't.
I'm sorry, Cass.
Oh, it's okay. It's probably better. I'm not allowed to have tools.
It'll be add each other's friends if you can. I think you should.
What was that?
Add each other on your friends list. I don't know if you are.
On friends list on Facebook. Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
I thought he was asking who my childhood friends was. I'm sorry, I got lost in translation.
Ah, yes, soda. When you absolutely have to have it something to drink and you're too dumb to drink water.
Yeah, well.
We're all guilty. Yay!
I should be drinking water, but I'm stressing, so I drink pop, which being diabetic is probably not the best thing for me right now, but oh well.
No, I can understand that, but especially like if you're stuck with tap water, I don't know what's up, but the tap water last few months has been making me sick. And I'm not the only one. Like a bunch of other light workers.
we live in Phoenix, and so I actually somehow a Brita picture got left where I used to work, and after 30 days, if they don't claim it, we can either donate. It got donated to me, so we're using the Brita pitcher to filter the water, and it's been a lot better. But yeah, I can't.
I'll try that.
It started making me sick too. My sisters didn't have a problem. I said I can't drink this water out of the tap anymore. It's making me nauseous. So I either have to drink bottled water or the Brita filtered water because I don't know what's going on, but yeah, you're right. It makes me. I was just like, what are you talking about? It's fine. I'm like, it's not fine. It's not fine.
Yeah, no, there's something wrong. There is
Yeah.
something wrong.
Yeah.
And if you got good tap water where you live, bless you.
Yeah.
Stephanie wants to know, what are your thoughts on colloidal silver?
Colloidal silver. My mom used to have us take it, but I don't take it. I don't know why. I don't know why. I think you should take it, but don't take a lot of it because it can mess with your system and it can literally turn your skin blue. So you really need to be careful with that stuff.
Yeah, colloidal silver, it would kill me. Yeah. So, but a lot of the people that have helped have had a lot of really good luck with it, especially those that I've worked with Lyme disease. They had a lot of good luck with getting the colloidal silver to like depopulate the parasite. I don't know about the medical side. I just know that they have a lot of good luck with colloidal silver.
Another weird thing about me is I'm allergic to pretty much every antibiotic there is. If I ever get sick, they said the next time I'm going to have to go into the hospital and be monitored and get stronger IV antibiotics. But over-the-counter stuff like ampicillin, amoxicillin, it's like I think 16 antibiotics that I'm allergic to that cause reaction to my body.
Have you had poor luck with like quantum healers and Reiki artists?
I haven't done anything with them because it's a monetary thing right now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Jim,
Yes.
Jim, she says it's a monetary issue.
It
Do you
is a
think maybe we can
monetary.
help her?
Monetary issue.
Yes.
Yeah, I just
I have no Day-Monet.
Yeah, a lot of people who can quantum heal won't do it for free, and that's not a judgment. Okay, if you can do something,
Correct.
don't do it for free. This is Earth, motherfucker. It's hard mode. Okay,
A man is worthy of their hire, indeed.
Exactly.
Indeed.
That being said, Jim, what's our
I
policy?
just put her website link in the chat box here.
Yeah, thank you. David Wilkes says, what am I drinking? A nourishment chocolate drink, David Wilkes. I'm drinking a nourishment chocolate drink.
I want chocolate.
It's a food drink as well.
You suck.
I drink a lot of chocolate milk.
See, this is one of those times.
I don't really like chocolate. I know.
See, Bradley, this is one of those times where I would have called you an a-hole because in America, that's an expression of brotherhood, but I've learned better.
Yeah,
so you suck instead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Michael, I learned the hard way that calling somebody an a-hole over there is a way bigger deal than it is here.
Yeah, it's really
Here it's damn near an affectionate, but ooh.
Yeah, I call people fucktards usually.
See, would that be offensive in the UK?
Yeah,
would it? I'm asking for a friend.
Michael, women don't swear. Ladies don't swear.
Yeah.
Here, that's why they named her Michael.
That's fucking right.
There we go. Wait, does that mean I just lost profanity privileges?
Yes, Cass. Yeah, I embrace. It's oddly enough when my mom named me. I believe in past lives I've been named Michael as well, but and identify with Michael the Archangel. But I embrace both the female and male because I was very much a tomboy growing up, but I'm also very feminine at times as well. So it's interesting. I believe that my mom, the spirits who brought me here, led her to give me that name. And my mom thought she was only having one baby. Mark and I were on top of each other. They only heard one heartbeat. I came out, and the doctors are like, "There's another one in there." It's like, no, my mom. They were all like not prepared to have a second baby, and yeah.
Who is? Really? Who
Right,
is?
yeah. So I'm just very just based on my birth and unique. Yeah, it's just all I don't know.
Candace is asking, what is your sun sign, Michael?
I don't have a son. I'm kidding. Okay, I don't know. I'm a Taurus.
Are you? I'm a Taurus too, Michael.
Yeah.
Your Earth sign is Earth.
Yeah, I'm very down to earth person, but I also enjoy I'm also water, and I believe that's where so who was it? They were on the show about past lives, and he mentioned that, oh, I'm not a famous person or this or whatever, but 3 mediums have identified me as possibly being Lady of the Lake.
Wow.
So I think that's where my water from Avalon comes from, because I'm also, my ancestral grandfather is actually Arthur Pendragon as well.
Hey,
Wow.
Bradley.
Yeah.
Remember what I said about Merlin?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
saying. I was right.
Wow. Wow. That might be why I was attracted to calling you Michael, actually. Yeah. Because Merlin's my guardian angel, believe it or not.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I believe it. I think Michael is my guardian angel, but I haven't find someone to connect with that. So I
I
don't.
think
But answer to her question, I do not know my sun sign. It'd be interesting to know. Yeah.
I think it would be accurate to say that Michael is everybody's guardian angel. It's just a matter of whether or not a person chooses to resonate within that. You know?
Okay. No, he's mine. Cass, he's mine. Sorry.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah.
I'm just messing with you.
No, for a second I was like, "Oh, she's messing." You got that deadpan humor. I like.
I do. Ask Donna. Last night we were at I'm like, yeah, it was funny.
Brian Parkway says Michael protects over everybody. Hi there, Rachel Learned. Thank you for joining us. David Wilkes is in the house. Thank you, David, for joining us.
Yeah,
Candy
Michael
Fowler.
does protect everybody. I just sometimes I think he's over there going, really, Michael Ann, again, I need to stop a car from hitting you. Like, I cannot get a break here. So,
Well, as the cardinal concept embodied of conflict, he kind of signed up for it.
I know, right? That's just my personal,
Yeah.
I think sometimes it's just like I call him from his coffee break going, really, again?
Watch, he's up there right now. Yeah, but that was before humans came along.
I know, right? You fucking humans. No, I'm not being disrespectful. It's just, if you have to come into my world, Michael Ann's world, because we're talking about Archangel Michael, it can sometimes get very bizarre. Just so you know.
Hey, no, you've come to the right place. You are amongst friends. I think all of us get frustrated with humans like sleepers, like all of us light workers, and that includes you. If you're watching this show, you already know something's up. But I think we all get frustrated with, the sleepers. I won't call them sheep because sheep are yummy and people are not. Don't ask me how I know that.
Especially with barbecue sauce.
And fava beans.
And
Anyway,
fava beans, yes.
Yeah, this is a Halloween. I'm allowed to quote Hannibal Lecter. David says humans are fucking idiots. I wouldn't say that. It's just that your species is been reset to a state of youngness, and on top of that, you're operating in a state of hereditary post-traumatic stress disorder.
Oh my God! So
the
much
things the Nibirites did to you guys is why they are extinct now. So, but it's just been and mind you, this is just an outside observation, okay? And I might be wrong, and if this is offensive, I apologize. But it seems to me that what you guys are operating with is like a general, a state of generational abuse that we sort of pass on to the children that started way back then. You know what I mean? 100,000 years of slavery is a long time, and I don't think humans have healed. But again, that just could be my view from the outside.
Well, we're born slaves to society anyway. Right
That's a state of mind.
Yeah. Well,
that's a state of mind.
It has a lot to do with it, though.
Granted. Like it's like everything from the beginning is indoctrination, which is why I want to say for my dad, 98% best dad ever. I'm starting to understand why the training was so brutal. I'm starting to get it. You know.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Well, it's a pleasure to have Cassidae Lightwing in the house. Cassidae Lightwing's joined. What a surprise. The lion.
It's good to be back. For a while, I wasn't sure I was going to make it through that last one, dude. That last gut attack was bad.
Yeah, I know. Your health is bad, Cassidae, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah. And for those of you at home playing the home game, going, yes, we cursed Cassidae. No, you didn't. Ping, ping. You see, that's why my shields are down, folks. I might want to surrender.
I know that feeling.
Sorry, Michael. We have a bit of a anti-Cassidae cult problem.
Oh, okay.
David Wilkes says, "Wow, roar there, Cassidae."
It's good to be alive, folks. Like I said, I wasn't sure I was going to make it through that last one.
Yeah.
A lot of things coming through right now, that's for sure, with you guys.
Well, like I said, I'm an open book. You're welcome to read. I find I have to do that because if my story on the face of it sounds just like a crazy person that got his head hit, and you wouldn't be wrong. I'm a crazy person and I got a head injury. However, it's the proof of what we say. And I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about, that validation. Like when somebody doesn't listen to you, like, you're full of it. And they come back later like, oh God, I should have listened to you. Can you help me get out of trouble now? And you're like, yes.
Right.
I just got to wait for that part, because when first I appear, I seem deleterious, but when explained, I'm nothing serious.
Well, like, for instance, right now, just between Cass and Jim Andre, I'm seeing this like Mandela effect around you guys. And I'm not quite sure what that means because I've never seen it. So that's kind of weird.
I know that Cassidae and I do have somewhat of a connection.
We work well together.
Yeah.
And to quote one of my favorite movies, it has begun.
Yeah. And there are beings behind Cass and Jim that I'm seeing as well, which are of the alien nature. So that's they've been trying to get my attention, but I'm just trying to this is kind of a bad time, guys.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
One of the claims I've been making for a while is that my alien tattoo, for those who are familiar with the abduction that I experienced, it morphs in time, right? Now, what I like to do is I'm gonna share the screen with a side-by-side picture of when it was fresh on my arm and what it looks like today, to more or less prove what I've been saying. So give me a minute, and I'm gonna try to find that.
Okay. And so with Bradley, hard connection, because I was actually born under the sign of a dragon, and I connect with dragons. So I do see a dragon behind Bradley as well.
Yeah,
So
I am affiliated with dragons.
Dragon?
I am affiliated with dragons. I am Dragonkin, actually, Michael.
You're what?
Dragonkin is what I am. I'm affiliated to dragons. I do admit that.
Yeah. So
And
that's
Michael,
And I'm wearing a dragon ring.
that's cool. I need to get one. Mhm.
Michael, as a psychic, I'm pretty sure you felt that from me. That's not because I don't believe Mr. Bradley. It's because I lived through the 90s in the Bay Area. So you had people claiming to be every bloody fucking thing. And it was a really, really rough time to live through. And a lot of people would create these little cults saying that they were really a dragon trapped in human form. So
Yeah.
whenever Bradley mentions
Yeah,
it, there's like
that's
this spike that I feel, and it's not him. It's not nobody's fault.
No, I understand. Yeah, I definitely understand. And um, it's interesting that when I look under my dragon sign, I'm very true to that, just like a Taurian sign, but identify with dragons. Um, you know, when I just love like the Game of Thrones and House of Dragons because of the dragons that come out of that, and yeah, it's something that I'm trying to understand because being part I know it's gonna sound so psycho, but being part human, my human mind sometimes doesn't allow a lot of stuff to come through because of our upbringing and things.
Michael, this would have sounded psycho to a lot of other groups of people. But you got to remember that like these guys have been with me the whole time, and we have recently obtained the medical proof that y'all aren't here alone. So no, it's not psycho. It is now a medical and scientific fact that humans are not alone on this planet. And that also that hybrids like Shar is proof or was proof that the hybridization process is real and viable. So no, it's not psycho anymore.
Yeah.
Bear that proudly, knowing that science has got your back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm affiliated with King Leviathan. He's an unsavory dragon to many, but I find he's all right to me.
Yeah, I've had dreams about dragons and Avalon, and it's so weird. I don't know. Not weird,
Candy
but
Fowler says someone told Candy Fowler that there's nearly the same thing today about being behind her is a dragon, watching, waiting, and protecting her. A really big and strong entity, but that's all she could get from the person that was reading her.
Oh, cool. Oh, she wants me to read her? Is that what she's asking? I don't.
No, she was saying that she was read by someone, and they said there was a dragon watching over her. Candy Fowler.
Oh yeah, I believe that. They're
to have a dragon in your life is a true honor. Although
okay, I'm gonna share that now.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Jim.
You're welcome. Okay, this is when it was fresh on the arm, and this is what it's looks like now. Now look, the sun here is lower there, higher here.
Yeah.
And then you have these white like stars over here on this side, nothing here.
Yeah.
And look at the center of the head area there.
Did you get this? And maybe I'm matrixing or something, but it looks like when you focus on the dollar bill, it looks like that. You know, it looks like that image.
I don't know.
Do you know what I'm talking about, you guys?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like that. That's very interesting to me.
Just so it does morph. And I had a Photoshop expert use some type of technique where he went in depth with like different colors, I guess, without altering the image itself. And within the tattoo, you could see an image of an astronaut. You can make out like his oxygen tank, his helmet.
Yeah.
Other different alien images within the tattoo.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that can't be seen with the naked eye.
That's so cool.
We need to get that examined by a tattoo expert because I'm not a
tattoo
expert.
What I like to do is go to some kind of chemist or dermatologist where they can possibly test the ink.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And when I got this tattoo, a conventional tattoo will scrape up like will scab up like a scrape or an abrasion and take 7 to 10 days to heal. This one here, it puffed up like a blister or a boil, and when it healed, it peeled like a sunburn, and it healed.
Ow.
It healed within 3 days.
Weird.
Yeah,
Well, not weird. Maybe that's normal. I don't know.
maybe they use some kind of laser technology. I don't know.
Yeah. Hmm. Interesting.
Do you have any tattoos, Cassidy?
Nope, I am too much of a weenie. Besides that, honestly, the tattoo ink would probably get pushed out or rejected or whatever. I don't take very well to that kind of thing.
Mhm.
For example, when they had to do a surgery on my sinuses, my body rejected the stents. So I don't think the tattoo would be a good idea. But mostly, I'm a weenie.
What's your blood type, Cass? Do you know?
I don't know. It's something unremarkable. It's not like RH negative or O positive or it's not made of felt or anything like that.
That's hilarious.
I think I'm like AB positive or AB negative, something like that.
Okay.
And
So
I also believe I have an implant as well.
Oh wow. Yeah, that could be. Yeah. That's cool.
now the interesting part about this is when you cross-reference the changes in Jim's tattoo, and you also cross-reference the number of people who had a violent or negative abduction by the Zetas, you notice it changes. I could be wrong, and I might be blowing smoke up Jim's butt, but I believe that Jim is one of the primary reasons the Zetas calmed the fuck down.
Well,
I'm wondering if I was ever abducted, because there's times I can remember that I've woken up and I feel like I lost time or something, and I've always wondered about that.
I wouldn't think so. Not forcibly abducted, maybe consensually abducted, and then they wiped your brain. But I don't imagine a psychic like you would be able to be non-consensually abducted.
No, I did do. I also do astral projection. I remember doing that even in junior high school. I can remember flying around the city and seeing things, and that I like to do that. It's fun.
Yeah.
As far as the Zeta Reticula, I don't think they've actually really, intentionally harmed anyone. A lot of people confuse them with the tall grays, which are much more aggressive than the Zeta.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I don't know the Zeta very well, and I got nothing to do with them as far as like light genetics, so I don't know. Take it for a grain of salt. But from what I understand, the Zetas were trying to make sure that their current present went off without a hitch by manipulating their past, which is our present.
Give me 1 second. I'll be right back, guys.
And it was just a matter of they didn't intend to hurt anybody. They were just trying to make sure everything went well. You know what I mean?
Right.
But again, that's what I understand. I could be wrong.
They're trying to protect in a way. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the impression I always had. But I know that the when I cross-reference the traumatic Zeta abductions, it lines up with your tattoo, and I'm not sure what that's about, but I have my theories.
Well, I mean, I didn't experience anything traumatic, I mean, it's just like a fog to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Vic. No, the Zetas do not work for the Tall Grays. They are two radically different factions, bro.
Yeah, I agree with you, Cassidy. I don't think that either.
Yeah. Now I understand how it could work that way because the biorobotic. And I'm just killing time until Michael gets back. The biorobotic bodies they use look pretty similar. You know what I mean? So I see how humans can get that impression, but this is two radically different peoples.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of confusion between both.
Yeah.
Oh.
Candace, you said Candace says she wants to talk about the sinus surgery in private or on the show, because I don't think that would be a good subject. Like, It's Michael's show, not Cassidy's show. See?
Oh, cool. Yeah, the whole blood thing. Somebody told me because I'm a B negative, which is a very rare blood type. It goes back to the alien. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that one out, but
Yeah, I don't understand the blood type thing very well either. And I'm a biologist, so it's like,
yeah,
Jim,
exactly.
Jim McFarland says hell, Jim Andre. I don't know if he means hello or he's telling me to go to hell. I don't know how to take it.
with them, with Jim, you never know.
True.
Oh, yeah, in private. Absolutely, Candace, 100%. Shannon. Wow. My wife is home. She's a government sanctioned drug dealer. It's awesome.
That's great.
Now, that was what basically she used to do really, really good work for the Californian government. So
Chris.
when she got to the point where she could go back to work from her seizures, it was perfect. She had government credentials, it was awesome. So she works for a dispensary now.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah.
Weird. So does anybody else? I also do. I can do automatic writing, psychometry.
Psychometry. That's when
Yes.
you pick up an item and you can feel the energy of the former keeper.
Yeah.
Yes, please talk about that. I've tried to describe it before, and I suck. So please.
So what happens if you think about it from a scientific standpoint? Everything has a vibration. Everything's made of energy. So what people that have that gift of psychometry, they can grab an object, feel a wall, just and find out where that object has come from. I'll give you an example. So we were recently on a private session with a gentleman, and before we got there, I said, "There's this statue. I'm not going to say what it is because it's kind of private, anyways." And I said, "Where'd you get this?" He said, "A friend gave it to me." I said, "No, your friend may have given it, but it's not from here." I said, "It's from a different country." I'm like, and I was going, I think this was made in China or something, that this guy brought it here. And so we turned it over, sure enough, it was originated from China. And the energy is different each time it exchanges hands or antiques. Like sometimes I can get a necklace. Oh, this was your grandmother, or this was, handed down, things like that. So, and it can also help to connect with a person too when you get a personal item, and it helps you connect to their past loved ones or their past, or things like that. So it's more energy induced, really, when you get images and things, because everything is energy if you look at it that way.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Rachel Learned is asking a question. She says she just received a Native American, and it's quite huge. Ever since I've gotten it, I've had it about a month, and it's been tapping on top of it by itself.
A Native American what?
What does this
exactly
mean?
That's what I want to know, because I'm getting that you got this Native American man in your house tapping on his head.
See, I'm thinking Chippendales
American
does it.
Native what? Yeah.
I'm thinking Chippendales delivers now. What's going on?
I know exactly what went through my mind. So was it a totem?
A drum.
Oh, it says she said a drum. Yeah.
Oh,
by
okay.
itself. Interesting.
That's probably just to because I can't feel it from tuning into those, because I can also tune into words, which is weird too.
Right.
But the drum itself is an ancestral. It's not a new drum. This was made. It's not like 1800s drum, but it's newer, like within the last century. So whoever possessed that drum first still likes drumming it. So it's not a bad thing. They're just helping you to understand how the drumming, the tapping can help your well, when you say it's really old, how old are you thinking? Because I'm getting maybe, for me, like the 1800s isn't really old. Okay, extremely old. Okay. So are we talking 13th century old? Because there's old and there's old.
And does anyone else hear the tapping? Or just
Yeah.
you? Because then that's not saying it's not real. It's just that would mean vastly different things. You see what I mean?
I'm getting that is connected to this person somehow, to you, and the tapping is just a more of an invitation to let you know that this is going to be a healing element for you. And as far as yeah, I do get a good vibe from it. It's not a malevolent vibe or anything like that. I don't know what they mean by extremely old, because for me, for myself, I'm extremely old. So old is kind of a time relevance here on Earth, I guess. So that's why sometimes I saying I get maybe 18th century. So for me, that's, yeah. Anyway. But yeah, I think it's more of a deal where the energy of this drum is just letting you know that this is going to be a healing element to you if you ever decide to use it that way.
Chris Joan Marie says, I get a cricket sound in my ears from time to time when trying to sleep.
That's just your spirits trying to talk to you. I get that too. It's not, don't be alarmed. It's not medical. It's just like they're chirping in your ear. Some people can define it and such, but yeah.
Rachel says, my husband and I were sitting here and it just thumped the loudest ever stumped on top of it just about 20 minutes ago.
Let us know if it thumps again during the show.
It could be that person knows, because, you know, the spirit realm knows I can go beyond the veil. So they can, it's energy. Again, it's energy. So maybe they knew that we were going to talk about them, and they're just signifying, saying, bam, hello, I'm here. So I wouldn't be too, sometimes they do that. I wouldn't be too alarmed about it, to be honest. So.
Yeah, I know, Rachel.
Yeah.
I am getting better with names, folks. I really am. No, I remember.
Cool.
Thomas says everyone anticipates thumps, right?
Right. Thumps, bangs. Oh, cool. Matter of fact, I joked one time. I forget where we were, but somebody said they heard chains, and I'm like, dude, really? This isn't, you know, the 18th century, and not that it's not a Christmas story where, you know, they're dragging chains on the ground. It's like, do something new, you know, shoot sparks or light a candle or something.
Chris Joan Marie is asking, the tapping, is it something you feel or hear? I feel a tapping under my pillow as well.
I do that. I can hear and feel it at times as well. It's been more so, weirdly enough, since I've been in Phoenix. I've had more vibrational and more tapping, and I just believe I just believe it's somebody trying to connect. And oddly enough, beginning the September through, it's like a Grand Central Station in my room. I don't know why the spirits think they have to come out all the time during the holiday season, but I get a lot of that, and I just tell them, you know what, I'm so not in the mood right now. I've got a headache. I just treat him like a bad boyfriend sometimes, to be honest.
So I've got to
How
ask,
long
what
has
are
it
you
thought
guys?
about that?
What are you guys doing for Halloween?
I probably watch TV and play with my cat because they don't allow adults to go trick or treating out here, which fucking sucks. But whatever.
Denver is cool like that.
Wait, you're in Denver?
Yeah. Well,
So
technically, I'm on the outskirts of Denver. You know where the Children's Hospital is? I'm right there.
Well, I'm a fourth generation native of Colorado Springs.
Well,
Yeah, I lived in Denver, and I still have relatives out there, and that I worked at Fox 21 News.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
You know,
Yeah,
we're gonna have to talk privately one day there, Cass, because I think
that would be cool.
there's some things out there. Anyways, yeah.
No, I was born here. Then my dad moved us all over hell trying to chase his music career, and then we ended up right back in this exact same town. Like I went to school like a few blocks that way, for the Children's Hospital for sure. So it's like,
Yeah, I know where that's at.
talk
Yeah.
about synchronicity,
Yep.
you know. So, and yes,
Yeah.
folks, born in Denver, I don't have a spaceship. It's a consciousness thing.
Right.
yeah, I remember one time Jim McFarlane, he told me he had a healing session with a shaman named Gene one time. And during that session, he could hear the Indian drums like in the background.
Very cool.
Candace is asking if you were willing to do a reading for her.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, we're coming up to the top of the hour.
Oh.
If you want to message privately and set one up, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I'd
can
like
do
to thank Cassidae, Lightwing, and Michael for coming on the show. It's been a pleasure to have you both near us. Thank you for joining us, and thank you, Jim, Andre, as well.
Oh, you're
Sorry
welcome.
if I was a stage hog. I'm working on it.
Sorry if you were a folktard. That's okay. I'm sorry.
Wait, did you just call me a fucktard?
I did.
No, that works.
Did.
I accept that.
We're Coloradoans. We know this.
Yeah. Hey, at least it
Okay,
wasn't a
everybody.
snake.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you on the next one.
Okay, thanks
Bye.
guys for having me.
Thank you.
Talk to you
Bye.
soon. And Candace, I'll talk to you soon. Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.